Hi, Rowena. We are back again with our episodes. How have you been?
I'm good. It's winter, full-blown winter, so it's quite cold. But otherwise, I'm great. How are you?
And I'm good. It's a full-blown summer here.
Of course, full-blown summer. Hot and humid.
It's always full-blown summer in Malaysia. Rowena, this time or this week, we're going to talk a little bit about our work in progress, the things that we're doing for this program. And at the same time, we also want to talk a little bit about the tools that we use in terms of creating or making this program happen. So let's start with something that both of us have been working on this week, is that we have had created our landing page and as well as our Google form. So I know the Google form, you created the Google form, and I created the landing page. So maybe it's a good time to let whoever is watching to figure out why are these two women who are creating this program, why are they creating a landing page and a Google form first instead of other things that they could be doing, right? Maybe creating a brochure, creating some write-up and putting it out online on LinkedIn and everywhere else or their blogs. So Rowena, what are your thoughts?
Okay, sure. Well, Google Form, just because we love digital, we like to ensure that, we make it as easy as possible, particularly because we're in two different countries, two different time zones. Digital really is the way to go, and we want to minimize effort and minimize redundant work, and digital is just perfect for that. So Google Form just means we can collaborate. We can both see the form, we can edit the form, we can see the feedback, the responses as it comes in. I don't need to email you. I don't need to, download or collate all of those responses and send them across. We can both access that. So that's great. The Google Form also means that you can go in and sort of put additional things in if you needed to. Not that we would necessarily amend the survey once it goes live, but it just means you have the ability to access it very easily. I did the Google Form early because we are working on the program as we speak, but the form is a quick thing to put together, so why not get it done? That required us to have a look at, what is the look and feel, what are some of the visuals we want to create around this. Also because we're recording the behind the scenes videos and we want to get that out. And so the form is planned to sit inside our YouTube pages so that if people watching the YouTube and they go, oh, this looks interesting, hopefully they do think that, they can go to the form and kind of just signify that they're interested and they can be kept updated with things. So it's just thinking about, now that we're getting the program together, even though it's not finalized, is thinking about those things around the program that can support us. How can we, given that we are recording a behind the scenes series and we're doing this in advance, because this is new to me. I've always just gotten everything ready and then we put out. Whereas here it's like developing the program, but here we are recording behind the scenes videos. Very interesting. Okay. But, if people are watching and they like what they see and they find this unique and different, although I don't think what we're doing is particularly unique. I've seen these sort of things before and I was quite intrigued by it. So we take a page from that, and it allows people to be involved in this process a lot earlier, which is interesting and exciting to me, because if people are able to give us feedback, maybe they might share some ideas too, because there will be, I guess, a section in the form where they can add additional things, then that could potentially be also captured in the program.
So this is also a first for me, doing a behind the scenes, even as I'm working on developing the program with you. Why I think this is interesting is because, like you mentioned, this is not a unique concept, recording behind the scenes. And it has intrigued you, right? It has made you feel curious, like what happens? Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? What are they doing and why are they doing it, right? So for me, I have always felt curious too about what is happening behind the scenes. And to me, sometimes when I watch videos online, the behind the scenes videos are the ones that I really love. When you watch a movie, at the end, when the credits come up, no one leaves the the cinema, because they just want to wait for that, those bloopers, right? Like those really crazy stuff that happens at the end. So all of us are waiting for that. And if we know that's coming, that enhances the experience of watching the movie. I mean, that's like a bonus. Yeah. Right? So to me, I think that's how I look at it. It's like this may not have been necessary, but this is like a nice bonus. And this is the bonus you get before you even get into the program. So it's like, instead of watching the movie, you're watching the bloopers first. And then when you get into the program, you say, interesting. This is how they put it together.
Well, I got another thing. The other thing also is like, we are active on LinkedIn. I mean, we use LinkedIn a lot, and I do post and I write articles and stuff like that. But it is possible that people may not know me, but they might come across the program, they might come across the video, and they don't know who the heck is Rowena and who's Krista. And I feel like being able to see the behind the scenes videos, they kind of give you a little bit of insight into who we are as individuals, and I think it can have an impact in their curiosity about taking a look at the program, because often you have to make decisions around programs based on what you see in the brochure, right? And, is this working? Is it not? Some brochures can be pretty brief in terms of what they share. Some are pretty lengthy, but even then it's like, it's not just about the program and what they are promising, it's also about who's delivering. And so if we can give them some insight into who we are as individuals, a little bit about our background, then they can look at these videos alongside our websites, LinkedIn profiles, and go, yeah, I think I know these people a little bit more. I'm willing to give this a shot. Maybe.
Yeah. And also it brings a very human element to our work, our program. Many times when I look at a program, I'm always thinking, wow, great program. But I never really know what goes on, what went into the planning of the program. So by knowing what went on in the planning before the program even was launched properly, launched later, it gives me a greater appreciation of the work, because there's a lot of work. So there's a lot of work that's happening right now. And even Rowena was telling me, I'm very excited that we're doing this. But, like you say, we're making progress, but sometimes you can't really see the tangible progress that we make. But we know every single week we are recording this. Every single week we are talking about the progress, the tiny little progress. So this week we're talking about the stuff that we have created last week. So in terms of Google Form, the reason why Rowena and I are doing this is because we want to, number one, have an idea of who's interested in such a program. And two, the landing page, right? So the landing page was actually my responsibility. What the landing page is supposed to do is to give you at least some information about the program, who the both of us are, what we plan to do, how long it will take, and what are some of the things that you'll come away with. We think that this is a better way to do what we call marketing. So Rowena and I call this pre-marketing. So pre-marketing precedes marketing. So pre-marketing is really like a way to dip your toes in the water, but it's also a great way for us to get the feedback. Even as we are dipping our toes in the water, even though as we are creating this program, we want people to understand that this process is going to be a little bit crazy, a little bit messy, because Rowena is in Australia, I'm in Malaysia. So we have time differences and we have our own workload, our business, things to do, things to run. It does take a lot out of us, right? I mean, running a program, creating a program.
I guess for many people may feel like the hardest bit. Like, I do create things from time to time, so I'm familiar with this process, and probably it doesn't faze me as much. But I can imagine that for somebody who may be doing something like this for the first time, this part may be quite significantly hard. And it is hard because this is the part where you are brainstorming, thinking, considering, evaluating, and there's nobody there to kind of tell you, yep, you're on the right track, yep, proceed forward as planned. There's nobody to do that. You're gonna have to figure it out as you go along, and there's nobody cheering for you as well, because the program is kind of being developed. It's not in its final form. It's being formed. And I think of it as a dream. You have an idea what it is you're trying to build, but it's still so fragile. And I really think that for anyone who's at that phase, like we are, you've got to protect that dream. You've got to really put things around it, fence it in so that you are protecting it and you're nurturing it so that you can continue, over the next coming days and weeks and strengthen the thing. Because if you don't protect it, then it can get destroyed. It can get demolished, and you can feel quite, demoralized by feedback from people who don't really understand what you're trying to do, for example, or you can be demoralized by, misunderstanding. So I guess my point is to make sure that you protect the dream and allow yourself to stay in that uncomfortable zone, because it is uncomfortable as you navigate and figure out what it is that what you're working on and building.
And I think this part of why we're doing this behind the scenes series is also to show people that we're not two women who just, we just snap our fingers and the program comes together. Like we have a genie, at our side. We have to navigate through many different challenges, right? A lot of times, even when I create programs on my own, and like Rowena, right? We've done the work individually. We've done our own programs. We've created, webinars and workshops on our own. But coming together, working with a partner, working with a collaborator takes another level of effort, because we need to be able to accommodate each other. And I think we had this conversation during our WhatsApp call, right?
Yes.
I told you, Rowena, this is your domain. The YouTube thing is your domain. You make the executive decision because you could be waiting for me. If you just say every single decision, we were both of us waiting for each other to say yes or no, or we agree or we disagree. It will take forever, right? For something to be put out there, which is in this case a video or the series of videos. But if I say, whatever I say, Rowena, at the end of the day, you make the executive decision to do this or to put this out and publish it, and I will respect your decision, because both of us are 50-50 partners in this project. So that makes a lot of the work easier, because sometimes I know when we're working together, a lot of people just don't want to be insensitive. They don't want to be, I'll override a decision. I'll make this happen. I'll do this. It's very easy, because if we've been working solo or we've done a lot of things on our own, and as entrepreneurs we've done a lot of things on our own, in that sense that we make a lot of decisions, sometimes we may feel that it's faster if I just made this decision by myself. But when we're working with other people, we have to respect that there are certain domains or areas that they could take charge, and then on my side I could take charge of perhaps the podcast. So this also brings us to that idea that, which areas are yours, which areas are mine, right? So that we don't step on each other's toes.
Well, stepping on each other's toes, one. I mean, I love this. This is a good point, because it's not just about the fact that we giving you a behind the scenes look at how program is being developed. It's a behind the scenes look at collaboration as well. And we had that conversation around, who's doing what. And I think that's really important that you have these conversations early on. A lot of people talk about collaboration, and it's a great word, but it's hard work to make collaboration work, because you've got to have what can feel like difficult conversations, because in the early stages, you're trying to figure out how do I work? I mean, I know how I work, you know how you work, but how do we work together? And sometimes things just go wrong because of miscommunication or misunderstanding or certain assumptions which weren't clarified. Coming from that comms background, just always prefer to do the hard conversation up front, just to make sure we're both on the same page, because ultimately we both want the same thing here. We want this program to be a success. But if we've not worked with each other before, then we need to figure out, like some people don't like looking at long emails or long text messages. They're the sort like, let's just get on a phone and talk for 5 minutes. It's knowing each other's preferences and making sure we're in tune with that. So if we have these conversations earlier, then you can save yourself a lot of heartache and, heart attacks. So I've been pleasantly surprised because I was thinking, well, you kind of anticipate that there might be issues, but we've just had a rocking good time, I feel. We've not had any real issues. We're pretty much on the same page, even though I've just sort of had a look at your draft and I'm working through mine. I feel like it's working so well. So I'm really happy. I don't take that for granted.
I'm glad.
At all.
I'm glad. Yeah, I know, because I have personally worked with other people as well, Initially, everyone's excited. They start off very gung-ho, like, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But if we don't clarify the expectations or the assumptions, right? Like, assume you'll be doing this or you assume I'll be doing this, it gets really hard because then people will start feeling resentful. And I hate that feeling in any collaboration. Like, I'm so resentful. Like, she didn't do her part, I'm expected to do my part. And then things start to get really bad, And then in the end, we're just not happy working with each other. So I've gone through a lot of that. And I feel that I have also learned from a lot of my mistakes. Like, why didn't I clarify what I expected from the relationship or the program or the partnership? And because people just don't like that, right? This is a very hard conversation to have.
They don't. Like, nobody wants to have these conversations. Yeah. They'd rather just like, yay, we're all working on this together. Fantastic. Let's go out there and kill it. And we'll have 300 people attend. And it's hard to have these conversations because to have these conversations is to anticipate the ways in which it can go wrong. And who wants to talk about that at the start, right? You're all excited and you're hopeful and you don't want to talk about the what ifs. But I don't know. I prefer it. It like gives me structure and I just never like to go into something thinking the best of it. You have to be able to anticipate and manage risks. And that I can understand is a bit of a downer for some people.
Of course, we all go into a program wanting the best outcomes for the program. But what if the worst thing happened, right? What if the worst thing happened and the program has not even been launched and the worst thing happened, right? Which is both of arguing and feeling pissed off with each other. So as long as we can get that part, our relationship settled in a way that I know what I'm doing, you know what you're doing, I think that is a great way to start off a project or a partnership.
Yeah.
And having said that, I think this is also the perfect time to talk about, Rowena, why YouTube and why the videos are on Rowena's channel, and as well as why audio and why the audio are on my podcast.
Okay, basically. I'll leave you to talk about the audio since that's going to be your channel. For me, video, because I have with Digital Confluence, my business, I have a YouTube channel. So for me, it's a natural thing to add more material and to that body of work that I have there. That's one. Two, people love to watch video. I mean, what's there to think about? We're recording video, might as well put the video out. To me, it's like, it'd be a waste if I didn't use it because people can just get a better sense of, who we are as individuals, much more than reading an article or any other way. And so it just, for me, makes sense because there's all that non-verbal stuff, I guess, that you get in a video, the connection, the empathy, the authenticity, perhaps, all of those little things that you can't quite pin down in an article, but it's coming across in a video. So for me, video is really powerful. And I guess the third reason is because I've kind of held back from video for a long time. It's just not my favorite thing.
Okay.
And I've made a decision a couple years ago where I'm just going to confront my fears head on. So because I know that I have this, I won't say I don't have the fear anymore, but I have a general reluctance of doing anything like how we're doing right now. Ring light, video, hit record. Yeah, not really my favorite, but I just feel that there's a lot to gain from this. I've gained a lot already. I did a a series of YouTube videos last year as part of that process. And yeah, I just feel more comfortable. And I think a lot of people, and women as well, are not really comfortable with or appreciate or enjoy this process. So if I'm going to talk to them about, stepping up, stepping into the light, building your visibility, then I have to be doing this myself.
Yeah, perfect reasons.
Yeah.
So I really echo your point on women and video. I think a lot of women just fear video, and not only video, fear live video. When I was doing my live streams during the pandemic year of 2020, I asked a lot of my friends to be on the live stream with me on Facebook Live. And they were like, video, I can do. Live? Oh, no, I can't do live. What if I say something wrong? I said, well, if you say something wrong, we'll just move on. All right, move along. Let's talk about this in a way that if it's data, if you said something wrong, maybe you can later put in the comment and say, I think I quoted the wrong data or statistic. Maybe you could do that. But I don't think there's really anything wrong, except that we kind of say things that make ourselves look like fools, right? So people were afraid of looking foolish on video, not looking as polished as they would like to be.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like video nor live video. So that is also, for me, a challenge for myself as well. Like, could I sustain how long did I did 50 Facebook live streams, 1 hour each. So I did 50 hours of that. Could I sustain a 1 hour conversation for myself? When I first started, it was just like, let me just push myself out there. So for me, it's the same thing too. If I wanted to overcome my fear, I will walk through the fear. I would give it to me. Bring it on. I don't care. If I were like 20 years younger, maybe I'll be like, no, I'm so shy, I can't do this. What if I say something really, really stupid? And now for me, because of age, maybe your experience of the things I've gone through, the people that I've helped, I think to myself, well, if I'm gonna make a fool of myself, it's okay, I'll be yesterday's news before you know it. So I did it. So anyone who came on with me on Facebook Live, well, they enjoyed it. So in a while, they kind of forgot that they were live. Until they started seeing the comments coming up, then they're like, oh my God, I'm live. But
yeah,
thank you for sharing that, because I think that is important for people to know. Yep. No one wakes up and automatically say, hey, I'm ready for video, unless you're a millennial. Right. Maybe if you're a millennial, you'll be like, every day you'll be talking to your phone. So it doesn't come naturally to us. It doesn't come naturally to any of us. So the only way you can do it is to be able to power through that fear. Go through it, and then when you come out the other side, you feel so much better. It's like taking a cold shower. You hate it, right? You hate it. It's gonna be so cold. But then again, when you're done with your shower, you come out of the bathroom and you're like, that wasn't so bad, was it? This is our advice to anyone who's watching us and thinking, I can't do video. I would never do video in a million years. Rowena and I did it, and we're still here.
I said that to myself. I said that. I'm never going to do video, and here I am.
Yeah, and here you are. And this is a behind-the-scenes video, which is even better than video, right? Video is like you structure it. This is like we're just talking.
This is more terrifying. This is behind the scenes, right? We don't know how this session's going to go. We're winging it.
Yeah. So you're doing YouTube, and I'm taking the exact recording, what we're doing right now, but I'm taking the audio and turning it into a podcast episode. So we agreed on this also in our earlier chat, because I think doing this, we get a wider reach, because Rowena's domain is on YouTube. So I let her handle YouTube. But for me, because I have a podcast, so I will be doing the podcasting aspects of it and turning it into a podcast so that more people can listen to it if they choose not to watch a video, because I know that not everyone likes to watch a video. So that's where we are kind of widening our reach, making sure that we reach out to the women who really need this, the women who really need to hear from two women who have also, in a way, overcome their fears of doing the thing that they think they didn't want to do or couldn't do. And now we've done it, or we're doing it. And so if you're watching this or listening to this and thinking, I could never do what Rowena and Krista are doing, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at yourself. Probably, after you come to our program, you may be able to do far more exciting things.
Yes.
So that's the reason why we're doing pre-marketing in terms of the landing page, the Google form, and of course through YouTube and through my podcast. So now you may be thinking, okay, so great, Rowena and Krista, you're talking about all these fantastic things. What do you do to get what tools or what software do you use to get all these things done? So Rowena, what is your favorite tool in our collaboration effort? If that's a favorite tool.
Favorite tool. It's just being in the Google environment, being in the shared environment where I don't have to email. We can just collaborate on the one doc. There's no toing and froing. It's just all of the comments going in there. That I think is my favorite tool. I mean, WhatsApp comes in close second because sometimes you just want to have a chat, but time differences, we can't always have a chat. So it might be me dropping some ideas in on WhatsApp, asking a question, and then probably you looking at it going, what is this essay here? And then me going, oops, okay, let me just pull all this and put it into the doc. But it works in tandem. So it's like putting stuff in the docs, but also then using the WhatsApp and just finding a way to have a conversation in real time because of the time zones. When I may be working on something may not be at the same time you're working on something, but we're still able to, contact each other in a way that is not intruding in whatever else is going on in the other person's lives. Because, I don't put a chat in there with the assumption that you're going to look at it immediately. So hopefully you're not feeling that way. And certainly when you're putting things in, I'll look at it when I'm free. So I think that certainly helps. Just the collaborative nature of the real-time communication that can happen on WhatsApp and the shared doc environment, that you can get with the Google Doc, with the Google environment. I mean, we're both on Google work environment, so we're very familiar with it. And so that helps because sometimes I've worked with others who are like, they're in a Microsoft zone, I'm in a Google zone, and then it's downloading and exporting, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So we were very lucky, both of us being in a Google environment. It was just like, no need to discuss. It's just like, okay, everything's working really well.
Yeah. So I love Google. I've been using Google for so many years, probably decades. So Google Doc is where we do all our planning, brainstorming, writing things down, putting in remarks, thoughts, and questions. The other thing that we're using is Descript. So Descript is a software that I use to edit my audio for my podcast. But recently I found out that, silly me, there's actually a feature called Rooms in Descript, which I had not explored until we wanted to do this behind the scenes series. And then I thought, well, why don't we use that? So, and this is how we're recording this, is we are in the Descript Rooms feature where we just log in and we click record and we're recording. And after this, what happens is the recording is directly in Descript, which means that there is the full transcript generated. Oh, how I love things like that. And at the same time, I can give Rowena access. She can download the entire video so that she can upload later to her YouTube channel, including the subtitle file, that she can just take the subtitle file that's generated and put it up together with her YouTube video when she's uploading to her YouTube channel. So I think having tools and software really makes the collaboration easier rather than downloading, transferring, sending, sharing. Those I mean, not in the time of AI, probably maybe a couple of years ago, that would have been the norm. But now I guess with AI, with so many things that can be done quickly, having great software is a lifesaver.
Yes. And just adding, I mean, it was a good explanation of the script. I just wanted to come back to Google Docs. What is good about it is today I discovered tabs. I mean, I've been using Google for a long time, but I didn't know about tabs. So there's a tab, so kind of separating the content in a document. But you also have things, for those who've never used, you've also got things like comments. So you can just pick a section and you can add a comment. It just keeps the information separate from whatever's on the page. You can put suggest mode on, and whatever information you're adding to the page, it's immediately in a different color, so it's easy to track who is saying what. So the Google Doc environment is already set up for collaboration. You can have multiple people on it. You can adjust how you share the document, whether you share it publicly with a link or you just share it specifically with individuals. And for those who have a Gmail account, you already have access to the Google suite of docs and sheets and all of those things. So I say this because I assume people know, but I've also come to understand that a lot of people are not really aware of this. So thought I'd just highlight this fact.
Yeah. And the fact that both are such heavy users of software online doesn't mean the whole world is also like us. The other software that I wanted to talk about was also Trello, where we're using Trello to keep our work in progress clear and easy to see because it's a visual platform.
Project management collaboration tool, right? So it's got little cards on the page and the way you can house everything. Because right now, I send docs over to you. I share docs with you. You share stuff with me. I'll send you an image. You'll WhatsApp me some file. But how do we kind of track it, especially if you need to go into it often? So the project management software helps us to just direct where each of these individual materials are, but it also can be used to provide status updates. So rather than me pinging Krista on WhatsApp all the time when I put things in, you can just put these updates in the project management tool, and whenever anybody wants to get an update, they can just go in there. When you're looking for a file, and instead of having to ask the person, it's all captured there. This is where all the docs are. We can arrange the cards. It's just basically like little folders of information. So it's really easy to use. And all the things that we're sharing at the moment, like the Google, if you have a Gmail, that's free to use. Trello, free to use. WhatsApp, free to use. Descript?
I pay for Descript because of my podcast. Yeah, but you can check out the free version.
That'll probably be free.
Yes. Yeah, free versions for certain features that you can access. So, check it out. The other thing that I want to talk about, to create our landing page, I use Gamma. So that's Gamma. I think you can look out for gamma.app. So Gamma is a really quick way of creating a landing page. You can use it to create many things, slides, landing page, anything that you want to create quickly, you can definitely use Gamma. I love using Gamma because it gives me a quick way to put my ideas into action and really see how my ideas come to life, instead of even though I'm in the web development field and I know that I could use the regular way of creating a website or a landing page, or I could use Gamma. So for me, for this quick ways of just trying to see, does this information fit here? Does this information not fit here? And since I'm collaborating with Rowena, we need to move things around. We need to talk about certain segments of our landing page content. So it's easier for me to put it all up quickly so that she can have a look. She can get a quick feel of how it's going to look like. And even with our brand colors, what colors we want to use, how we want to use it. So we can do that quickly using Gamma. So Gamma is free to use, and do check it out if you're really interested in doing something that is very visual oriented for your own project or your own business. So have we covered everything for tools? I think we have. I wanted to just add a little bit more about the landing page. So people might be wondering, landing page, what's that? What's that?
What's that?
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You have your business website. I have a business website as well. And again, we were also having this conversation around, okay, where does this information sit? So should I put this out on my website? And then you'll be like, I'll put it out on my website and we've got redundant information. How best to do this? So I think what we've kind of agreed for now, the idea is a landing page. And the purpose of the landing page is really to put that information across. It's very targeted information. So on the website, obviously, you've got a whole bunch of things that Krista is doing, and same with me. But on a landing page, we just have information about this program that we're going to launch. And the purpose of doing that is just to be very targeted about who we are reaching out to and what we want to share. And ultimately, we just have the call to action, marketing term. Just meaning like, okay, why are we sharing this information? What are we hoping for you to do? And so when we put the landing page, the idea is to get you interested. And if you like what you see, then you might either sign up for more information or ask to be on, get email updates, whatever it is, whatever we decide that call to action is, or, just register straight away. So that's the behind the scenes look at what the landing page is for and why we've gone down that road.
For those who kind of feel intimidated by the word landing page, it's just a one-page website or one
That's
page
right.
where it has all the information about the program and who's teaching it and what's the duration of the program and as much of the information as we can put on it at this point in time, because we are still rolling out the program as we are recording this. So whatever that we have there is whatever that we have thought of at this point in time, and we want to put it out there so that you can get a better idea of what we are doing. And if you like what you hear and you like what you see and you just want to be kept updated, even if you're not going to be in the program or you don't feel like, I don't think this program is for me, it's okay. Just put your name and email in the form and then we'll keep you updated. It doesn't mean that just because you put your name and email in the form, it means that, you'll be automatically enrolled. Because not the point.
You're not signing up. You're just keeping up to date. At no point will you be dragged into the program.
Yeah, we won't be forcing anyone in the program. So the program is only for a limited number of people and the limited number of women, I would say, because it is our first time running the program, and we also want to manage our own capacity, our own time. We want to run the program, but at the same time, we want to run it well, and we want to keep ourselves, both of us, in the same headspace that when we started. It's like, we're happy doing this, we want to do this, and we want to do it based on our abilities and fit this into our schedule. So that's
right.
Yeah.
And if we have too big a group, the reality is we're not going to be able to give personalized attention and care and help you to achieve those things that you want. So it's really an understanding of, what our capacity, our bandwidth is, and making sure that everybody who comes out the other side, happy and feeling like they've achieved things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rowena, we have both hit our time limit. Can I?
40 minutes goes by.
We wanted to talk about the program, but I think we should save that for the next episode.
Absolutely.
Because we could talk a lot about the program because there's so many moving parts of the program. So let's keep that for the next episode, shall we?
Yeah, for sure.
So any last words, Rowena, before we end this episode?
Well, if you are working on your dream project, keep going.
Yeah, and if you really enjoyed this episode, please leave us a comment or just connect with us on LinkedIn and let us know whether you'd like to be kept updated about the work that we're doing. And if you have any other comments for us, if you like this video or you think both of us are really crazy for doing this, I hope it's not crazy, but if you think this is fun, let us know it's fun, what you enjoyed, what you liked, and whether you enjoyed the tools and the software that we shared. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.